What do you learn about yourself during the Link Up TV era?
And I'm gonna do the eye roll because, like, I'm not ashamed to say, like, it was hard navigating this industry as a Black woman, and mate, the music scene in the UK is so complicated, and I feel like a lot of people, I don't know what the words, there's so many emotions in it, and I was really lucky to have the Link Up Boys as friends, and they respected me as sister, and they didn't sexualize me ever. I'm so grateful for that, because a lot of women struggle in this industry because they're sexualized, because they are promoted in a certain way, and sometimes women feel like they have to promote themselves that way. Like, I would rock up. Like, I remember it wasn't until it was a few years into presenting, people was like, maybe we should wear some makeup. And I was like, what? No one's ever told me to wear makeup. My skin is amazing. And they're like, no, but, like, you know, look a bit more. And again, like, you know, I got to the point where I was like, actually, I do want to look a little bit more interesting on screen. But, like, the guys were like, just do you, man. If you want to wear your big, like, I went for a whole very Americanized, like, you know, big jersey jackets and, like, big neon colors and, like, just big jewelry. Like, I thought I was like salt and pepper. Like, I went through the old school hip hop phase. So the guys were like, where were you on? Like, we don't care. But then a few people were like, oh, maybe you should, like, you know, think about doing makeup, maybe do your hair in a certain way. And I was like, they said there was nothing. They all they cared about was me making content that I enjoyed making. And, like, again, we were doing fun, reckless things. We weren't doing all sexy shoots. Like, oh, hey, let me sit down and talk to you. It was just like, and again, no, just I do now sit down chats. But, like, back then, a lot of the women led with, like, I'm going to sit down with the new hottest rapper and it's going to be a sexy, steamy chat. And I'm like, let's go and play badminton with Wretch Free 2. I'm wearing my sports kit and I haven't done makeup and I'm sweating and I fell down. Capture that. Make sure you put that in the edit. That was hilarious. We were doing fun things. It wasn't anything else. So I'm so grateful for my friends who allowed me, specifically Rashid, who allowed me to do content that I wanted to do, and there was no restrictions. But at the same time, outside, like, the industry was, like, making me feel like I was doing something wrong, or, like, you know, again, I wasn't trying to date no one in the scene, but it's like, oh, should I be a bit more, like, you know, sexualized? And it makes you think you have to be a certain type of way. So my time at Link Up was, again, I was finding myself, but fortunately we made content that I loved and I was proud of. And my thing to this day, it's always, if I post this, am I going to be embarrassed? Am I going to offend? Am I going to upset my mom, my aunts, my grandparents? Like, if they see it, are they going to be like, what is she doing? Like, I want to be able to share my content to anyone. So, yeah, they allowed me to do that. But the industry was really hard. And it's pretty much why I'm not a big part of the music scene anymore, because it can be a bit negative and toxic, and the dangerous elements of it. Like, we were, you know, going into spaces that could be full of conflict and, like, you know, not like, again, because people like to talk about all, like, gang culture and da-da-da-da. Like, yes, that's a part of it. But actually, a lot of these guys were making music to get away from that. So I was really proud to say we were working with talent that, you know, lived a hard life, but we're trying to change that. But then when it became, some of them weren't trying to change that, I was like, I can't be a part of this world no more, because it's too dark, it's too toxic. So I started removing myself from a lot of the content that was being put out. And not because the guys at Link Up were encouraging it, but they loved the music and the art so much, it distracted them from the dark parts. So, yeah.
Do you still feel like you have similar difficulties as a Black female presenter now, just in a different arena, not so much from a sexualized point, but in terms of opportunities?
Yeah, 100%. Sorry, it took me a minute to, yeah. I feel like there's still, regardless of whether the consumer or the producers like sexualizing you, there is still a desire for a certain type of woman to be on screen. So I guess, like, you know, I'm so happy that we're seeing more like black and brown women on screen, but there is a certain type of black and brown women on screen. And there are, again, a few women who their work speaks way louder than their appearance. But again, there's other people who... It's funny.
They have the opposite type of...
Yeah, and again, just because it's so many things. There's so many different types of privilege out there. And that's what people don't realize. Like, there's pretty privilege. Like, that's a big one. And just because a girl's pretty doesn't mean that she's more or less talented. But your beauty can actually help you a lot. It doesn't mean you're doing anything either. But sometimes a producer might just like you. I love the way she looks on camera. I love the way we need her. But she hasn't got all the qualifications. Don't worry. We'll figure that part out. We'll get writers to write for her. we can get the team to do whatever, train her in that so that she can do it, because I want her to win. And it's like, okay, there are chosen ones. You can tell when an industry has nurtured someone, and that's frustrating, because it's like, wait, I've been in this game 15 years now, and there's still some jobs I wouldn't even been considered for because of, and I know I'm beautiful, but I'm not what their standard of beauty is. So I might not fit what they're looking for. And it's, again, like it's like the acting world. Like, you know, they might not say it out loud, but they might be like, we want a tall, slim, mixed race girl with curly hair. And it's like, why? I just think she'll look in between that person. I think they'd make a great trio. It's like, why though? And it's like, why can't you get the dark-skinned, plumper girl? Like, I don't know why. Like, they've just got an idea in their head, and it's like, okay, that's what we're going with. So you do feel sometimes like, oh man, like, I wonder why they picked her. But then also, why not? She deserves a shot as well. So again, whether she's been in the industry 6 months, a year, 10 years, 15 years, like, everyone deserves their opportunity when it arises. And sometimes God might have given that divine intervention to that person just because, like, you know, I can't be mad at that. So I've had to kind of overcome the whole why me or why not me, and just be like, God knows what he's got in store for me. And maybe even he was protecting me from something.